players are lined up, official ready to drop the puck. A critical game for both sides here, and we are underway. Moscow's got it in their own zone. Over the line they come. Here's a shot. He scores! And does he?
It's amazing, James. Every time he scores, it's like the entire bench elevates. Why? Because he is a leader on this team. He shows it on the ice and, of course, by example off of it. Everyone on the team recognizes that when their leader scores, it's about the intangible, the hard work, the work ethic, the drive to compete. And that sends a message right down the entire lineup. Let's get going.
Moscow's on the board. The crowd's loving it. I even think the coach is smiling on the bench, too.
That's always a good thing when you look back at your coach and they're smiling, because it doesn't happen often, James. But one thing that does get a smile is a great start, because they now know that you were ready right from puck drop, not from just a physical standpoint, but from an emotional side, too.
There's the whistle. Let's see what the referee saw.
Well, they have the lead, and now they've taken a penalty, so now they're going to be back on their heels. That power play is going to come out. You know they're going to be smelling and tasting blood, James. The PK unit, they got to beat a task.
Handles it along the blue line. Comes up with a big-time glove save.
The goalie makes an incredible stop, but typically he just invigorates his team with his scoring and his timeliness of it. To make your opponent think and hear you coming, and that's what he does with that first hit.
Drives it to the crease. Fantastic save. Official signals for the players to get into position, and we're about ready to drop the puck. And they win the draw in the offensive zone, and they go to work. Let's it go! Oh, how did he get a piece of that to make the save? Some solid defensive work in their own end with the poke check. Looks like we got a penalty coming up here. Look at this down the right wing. They're on the attack. Centering in front. One of his own teammates with that shot. Here's the one-timer. Denies him with the save. And they move the puck out of harm's way. Savenkov's got it against the boards. We got a penalty coming up here. Whistle stops the play.
Running interference is part of the game, but guess what? You got to be smart about it. You have to allow your opponent to move freely to find that puck. You can get in the way a little bit, but too much, you're going to get the interference call. Moscow's been disrupting play all night long, and this is because of their
scores coming up clutch, short-handed. Wow!
Well, you gotta love the aggressive nature of this PK unit. They jumped, they attacked, and they got the puck. They found a way to cash in and convert on the opportunity. The style of goaltending has changed so much over the years, James, and you can see that he drops right to his knees here in the butterfly position, trying to make himself as big as possible. But unfortunately, the shooter is able to put it by. Well, with that goal against, the coach is salty behind the bench right now. You can just see his whole demeanor is negative because he's not impressed with the way his team is playing. You know, it's been a lackluster effort. They didn't come ready to play. They weren't prepared.
Moscow's on a mission tonight. Boy, do they look dialed in.
They look dialed in, and they look fast. There's so much motion. Everyone is moving, and when they're moving, they're disrupting coverage and giving themselves lots of looks at the net, and they've been rewarded with a couple goals.
Phillips moves the puck. The Spartans gain control of the puck. Oh, what a save in front. Rips it. Oh, CP, you know what he wanted there. Just came up a little wide.
Well, JC certainly did. He pulled it into his butt.
He scores!
do a great job in transition, and they recognize they have the number. So on the odd man rush, they got someone driving the net, pulling the D back, and guess what? They capitalize on the space that they're given.
Here in the late goings of the period, Nizhny Novgorod shown a new energy over these last few minutes. They got one back, but they still need one more in order to tie. Moscow's won the faceoff at center. Takes a spill onto the ice and loses the puck. Puts it on net. Time ticking away, and he comes up big. And with the buzzer, that puts a bow on the first 20 minutes of play. We've got lots more still to come. Second period action next, right here.
Hey fans, great tickets are still available to our next home game.
Welcome back, everybody. Cheryl is full of popcorn now as we get set for period number 2. Here we go, middle frame now underway as the puck drops. Well, Cheryl, how do you sum this one up through the first 20 minutes?
Nizhny Novgorod's been coughing the puck up a ton in the first period, James, and a lot of credit goes to their opponent who's closing on them quickly. But they have to manage that if they want to get back in this one. They're lucky they're only trailing by 1. With them.
Well, lining up here for the face-off after a great shift there, Cheryl.
Yeah, in the offensive zone, they have all the momentum. Would be surprised to see a little stall at the face-off here to give their goaltender a little extra breather.
Scores! Tie game!
Well, you can't worry about what happened in the game, James. It's all about what you do now, staying in the present. That's exactly what they've done, and they've got the equalizer. This is why you practice that play, James. You're in the offensive zone, and you got to make the most of it with a key win. Everyone knows their responsibilities. They take it to the net, and it's a great goal.
Nizhny Novgorod's really changed the complexion of this game. Look at this. We're all evened up here in period number 2, Cheryl.
Yeah, and to do it at the beginning of the second is key. You really want to dictate pace and send a direct message to your opponent, and they do that with that goal.
Quick feed to Passion. Denies him on the stopper. Puck is frozen, and we'll get a face-off. Moscow's got it, and they're on the attack. Quick blast. Tried to put it in the side and missed.
Well, there's a recognition that he didn't have much room, gets a little bit fine, and just misses wide.
Moves it quickly over to Gonchar. Referee signals penalty coming up here with a delayed call. They got a chance to make something happen here on the delayed penalty. Extra attackers out. Whistle blows, stopping the play.
The coach is frustrated, and it will mount if this continues to happen, so wants to have a conversation with the official to get an explanation as to why his team is getting more calls.
Moscow's time and denied on the play! Wow!
That's a true competitor's save. Just when you think that he's completely out of it, James, he comes across with a desperation save to keep his team alive.
And as play continues, listen to these fans. They're starting to get loud. On the attack, they come down the right wing. Moves it to Voinov. And he takes the dish. Scores! And look at that. The rookie gets in on the playoff scoring.
Well, talk about embracing the nervous energy. Now he can take a breath, feel good about himself, and let the creativity flow. A great shot is going to beat the goaltender here, James, but he drops to that butterfly position. He tries to take up most of the net, but the shooter just finds it, finds a little bit of room, and buries it.
Nizhny Novgorod's jumped in front by a goal here late in period number 2, and they have weathered the storm here, Cheryl, but they've gone in front.
Well, it isn't over yet, but they certainly are in a good position with the lead heading into the intermission, James. Now it's about staying the course, playing confident, managing the puck, and getting it done.
Oh, look at this. Let's see what the officials are calling.
Well, that's a tough penalty to take at the end of a period, and it's all about the PK unit now. They've got to kill the time off, get to the intermission where they can reset.
minutes in the books. We'll get a refresh for both the players, ice. I'll be back with a third period next. Hope you're having a great night. 2 periods down, 1 more to go, and they're ready to drop the puck here on period number 3. Moscow's won the opening face-off, and their power play continues. Voita's been slashed. Penalty coming up. Let's get the call here.
Well, when you're looking for the equalizer, it's tough to take a penalty and play shorthanded, James. You got to find a way to get to even strength so you can generate some offense. Just is a big word, James, because when you have an opportunity like this from a primetime scoring area,
what a
you have
chance here! Kansas zone! Oh, spectacular save to shut down the rush! Here's a chance! And the traffic jam in front blocks the shot. And a huge stop by the goaltender at point-blank range.
He's got such silky smooth hands in tight spaces and an accurate shot, but this time...
Scores! And look who's at it again. They are really turning up the heat.
Well, so creative and free, and the reason why you can play free because you're playing with a ton of confidence, not afraid to put the puck to the net and, of course, retrieve it. Well, that goal just ignites a fire down the entire bench, and sometimes it's about the drive and the energy within a shift that can just change the course of an entire game. There's so many ebbs and flows and momentum shifts. This one is one of them.
Nizhny Novgorod's taken a 2-goal lead to jump out here in period number 3.
Well, and they're in attack mode, aren't they? I mean, this is just a different team to start this third period. Now it's about maintaining that control, that killer instinct, and trying to ride it to the finish line.
This is wide.
James, you know in practice when you do target shooting? Well, that's going to be a call, James. That's definitely a penalty.
We got a stoppage. Let's get the call. The Moose have been handed a 2-minute penalty for interference. Takes the feed. Takes the hit. He goes down to the ice and tosses up the puck.
The thing is, James, that the glass doesn't shatter like it used to, and they can just replace the pain, but they'll have to do that because...
Moscow's got it in the offensive zone. And that caroms off a body in the lane. Oh, the poke check. What a read by the goaltender. Great save on the one-timer. Still has possession. Oh, one of his teammates was right in the shooting lane there. Slides it across to Torpedo. Rocked him in the open ice. And that'll close the book on this one as the final horn sounds. I don't think you can chalk up complacency at the other end of the ice. Cheryl, this was the response that everybody expected and anticipated.
I mean, it's the playoffs, James. I mean, you got the best teams in the playoffs, and they want it. They're urgent. They knew they couldn't drop another game. So this was all about a timely response, and they answered the call.
Well, that'll do it for all of us here at EA Sports. I'm James Cybulski, and we will see you next time from Rinkside.